All right, let's talk My Singing Monsters. Today, we are diving deep into the absolute heart of the game, and that is, of course, the art and science of breeding.
I mean, that's the whole point, isn't it? You want to use that breeding magic to go way beyond the basic monsters and start conducting your very own symphony. So the big question is, how does it all actually work? Well, let's start at square one.
At its core, it's actually pretty simple. You just take two monsters you already own, pop them in the breeding structure, and boom, they make an egg for a totally new monster. But, and this is the important part, the real magic, the strategy, is all about picking the right two monsters to combine.
Okay, so to get you from beginner to total pro, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the elemental rules, then move on to creating those more complex monsters. After that, I'll share some huge tips to boost your breeding odds, we'll take a look at the rarer breeds, and finally, we'll wrap up with your own monster master plan.
All right, first things first, you've got to understand the fundamentals. Breeding, at the end of the day, is all about elemental math. And luckily for us, it's actually pretty straightforward.
Okay, so the number one rule you absolutely have to remember is this. The whole goal is to combine the elements of the parent monsters. It's like you're literally mixing and matching their elemental DNA to cook up something brand new.
And this is a perfect example. Let's say you take a noggin, that's your earth element monster, and you breed it with a toe jammer, your water element. So what happens? You get a frog. And a frog, as you might guess, has both the earth and water elements. See? Super simple, right?
Okay, but here's the thing. It's not going to work on the first try every single time. A successful breed, like our frog, is going to have a very specific incubation time. For the frog, it's 30 minutes. Now, if the attempt fails, don't even worry about it. You'll just get an egg for one of the parent monsters back. So, here's the secret. Pay really close attention to those wait times. They are literally the signal that tells you exactly what you've got cooking in there.
So, once you've got the hang of combining single elements, that's when the real fun starts. You can begin layering them to create monsters with 3 or even 4 elements. And this is where your island song really starts to come alive.
Okay, let's build on what we know. Getting a triple element monster, it's really just one extra step. So, step 1, you breed 2 single element monsters, let's say a noggin and a mammoth, and that gets you a double element drumpler. Then, for step 2, you take that shiny new drumpler and breed it with another single element monster, maybe a potbelly. And voila, you've got yourself a 3-element clamble.
All right, you ready for the big leagues? We're talking the 4-element monsters, like the legendary Entbrat. Now, you've got 2 main ways to go about this. You could try combining 2 double-element monsters, or you could combine a single-element monster with that triple-element monster we just talked about making. So, which way is better?
And here is the pro tip that's going to save you so much time. The numbers don't lie. Combining a single element with a triple element monster gives you a way higher chance of success. It's not even close. So if you're trying to get that Entbrat, for example, breeding a T-Rox with a noggin is one of your absolute best bets.
Okay, so now you know the formulas. But what happens when you're trying for that super rare monster and it's just not working? Well, don't worry. There are definitely a few things you can do to tip the scales in your favor.
This is probably the biggest question every single player asks. And the answer is a huge, resounding yes. You can absolutely increase your chances. And I'm about to show you exactly how. Okay, check these out. These tips are super actionable. Number 1, light those wishing torches on your island. Every single lit torch gives you a small boost. 2, and this one is huge, use higher level monsters. We'll come back to that. 3, if you have them, island skins can power up your torches even more. 4, stick to the best breeding combos, the ones that are proven to work. And finally, here's a great little hack. If you get a failed egg you don't need, zap it over to a Wublin. It frees up your nursery instantly so you can try again. You know what, I have to repeat that second point because it is just so important. The higher the level of your parent monsters, the better your odds of getting a rare breed. Seriously, feeding your monsters isn't just about getting coins. It's a direct investment into your breeding success.
So once you've really mastered the natural monsters, that's when a whole new world opens up. The game has just layers upon layers of special monsters that are going to require some of that advanced breeding knowledge we're talking about. I mean, we're talking about whole other classes of monsters here. You've got your ethereals, your seasonals, your mythicals, even legendaries. And each of them has its own unique set of rules and combinations, which means there are pretty much endless goals for you to chase after.
Let's just take ethereals as an example, okay? To get that super elusive Ghost, you need to combine a 4-element monster, like an Entbrat, with any 3-element monster on Plant Island, so a Bogart or a T-Rox would work. Now look, the chances are really, really low. But if you apply all those boosting tips we just went over, you're giving yourself the absolute best shot you can get.
Whoa, okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, right? We've gone from the absolute basics all the way up to some pro-level strategies. So now, it's time to put all of that together into a nice, clear plan of action for you.
So, let's wrap this up with the key takeaways. First things first, master that elemental math. It's your foundation. Second, for those big quad element monsters, always go for that single plus triple formula. It just works better. Third, you've got to actively boost your odds. Light those torches and level up your monsters. And maybe the most important thing of all, remember that patience is a huge part of the game. A failed breed isn't really a failure. It's just another chance to try again.
So there you have it. You've got the knowledge, you've got the strategy. The only question left is, which incredible new monster are you going to breed first? Go add that new sound to your orchestra. Happy breeding!